Hello and welcome to the Earlier Wellbeing Show. Today we are being joined by a very interesting personality who has donned many hats in her career. She's an industrialist, she's a successful nutritionist, she's written cookbooks, she leads the Gourmet Club of Agra. She's none other than Miss Renuka Dang. Welcome, Miss Renuka, and it's a pleasure for me to host you on this show today.
This episode is brought to you by Earthier Yacon Syrup, a natural prebiotic sweet supplement that helps you manage your blood sugar levels. Click on the link in the description to know more.
Thank you so much, Abhimanyu, for having me on your show.
So, Renuka ji, when we look at it from a 2002 to 2022 perspective in 20 years, so if you see from 91, 92, 93, our food choices started increasing because the economy opened up, food processing as an industry became bigger and bigger. And we were we were very young, हम बच्चे थे in 2002, 2003. लेकिन जो हमारे माँ बाप थे उनके जनरेशन के लोगों ने वो पूरा जो प्रोसेस्ड फूड का दौर था उस टाइम पे उन्होंने काफी कंज्यूम किया है और फिर अगर हम देखेंगे 2002 ऑनवर्ड से भी सिटीज वगैरह में लॉट ऑफ लाइक बैंगलोर में दिखता था नोएडा दिल्ली गुड़गांव ऑल दीज सिटीज स्टार्टेड ग्रोइंग एंड लॉट ऑफ देम स्टार्टेड डूइंग डेस्क जॉब्स साथ ही साथ देन योर फूड जो हम घर का खाना खाते थे स्टार्टेड गोइंग टू लाइक हम बाहर का खाना ज्यादा खाने लग गए और जो हम देख रहे हैं कि 2010 से 2020 में और 2020 से जो शुरू हुआ है 2030 तक वो लाइफस्टाइल डिजीजेस कैसे चेंज होगा उसके बारे में थोड़ा बात करेंगे तो अच्छा रहेगा व्हाट हाउ हैव यू सीन इट फ्रॉम 2002 ऑनवर्ड्स मैम
I remember there was a time when I was doing my 12th grade and I kind of persuaded my parents to send me to Delhi or any metro city for further studies. And they said, nahi, tum nahi ja sakti ho. Okay, let me tell you, my brother did go to Bangalore, but I
ओके
wasn't sent. So I wasn't sent. So you know what happened? Nowadays it's completely different. I'm talking way back 30 years ago, right?
राइट
So yeah. So what now things are different. So small town, like you said, Bangalore and Pune and Delhi, we would see these things because of children, because of education. Children would be traveling and they needed this kind of food, fast food, what you call, and a processed food and all of that. But now things have like really changed. Children, everybody is traveling wherever, and everybody, for their education, for jobs, for multiple reasons. So what happens? The kitchen sense has totally changed. So now when a boy is living all by himself, he needs a quick fix of food. So he was not going to cook it in the kitchen. So he rather gets a packet and frozen food and processed food and all of that, and he doesn't care about his eating. He's more into his job or whatever work. So
राइट
so what happens now? The trend has like really changed. So people, and I always say that the day science entered the food industry was a doomsday. Science
जी
should not have entered the food industry. So everything is like I don't know. We've shifted from farms and we've shifted from farms, natural nature to packed, frozen, and all of that now. And we are
राइट
seeing the repercussions. We are seeing the new kind of illness and diseases. They are so prevalent now, and half the time we know nothing about it. Every day you keep out. These days I've been hearing of lumpy virus, and so many things keep coming in. Probably it could be the food allergies, it could be of course the bad air and the bad soil and water. Apart from that,
जी
it could be bad food because this is what we put in our mouth. So
जी
new kind of cancers, and
राइट
all of this is happening. And they say you are what you eat, you become what you are eating. So end of the day, if you are doing a shortcut of cooking, and you end up spending that much time in with the doctor.
राइट
So yes, so this is how things have changed, and this is how we see new kind of diseases coming in, and which is very very upsetting, and which is a matter of concern.
Ma'am, that's why the earlier well-being show is solely focused on the nutrition and well-being diet. How can one, from my age profile, say 30 plus, start looking at health the right way? If you see, in my college days, ma'am, when you were saying that, when you're looking for a job or when you're studying, you're a single guy, you're in a city, you're trying to find quick fixes. I just imagined myself way back in Bangalore when I was doing my undergrad. What was I going through? How was I solving my food requirements? How much of it was being eating out? हाँ, so वो सारी चीजें मेरे को याद आ रही थी. And you are absolutely right in that sense that when we are looking at from a diet perspective, and we are looking at from the pollution that is happening all across around us, it's affecting human health in a very very adverse manner, and with the rise of new diseases, etc., etc. I'm very very pointedly put, and I'm really impressed by the depth of understanding that you have shown in this answer, ma'am. Ma'am, in a follow-up question, ma'am, there is something that with there is an over obsession with weight management that we see. uh, do you think that weight management issues have become too big in the country, or is it something that people were carrying less before, now they are carrying a bit too much because it's become more of a दिखावा का जमाना है, तो people are becoming more conscious about it, ma'am?
नहीं ऐसा नहीं है. People are not conscious क्योंकि दिखाना है उनको, because I'm
Hmm.
sure the youth today, Abhimanyu, okay, I ask you, you are a young boy, I ask you, how do you evaluate success? Do you evaluate success by the number of cars you have, or you evaluate by your big bank balance, or how do you evaluate? So I'm sure health is not the priority at all
Yeah.
in your evaluation of success. So I
Right.
always say, like, if you are growing in wealth, if you're growing in your stature, if you're growing in your career, then you have to take good health along with it. Otherwise, that growth will stop after about a time. After,
Right.
yes, at a point that growth is going to stop if you don't keep in good health. And then
Right.
end of the day, जो दिखता है वो दिखता है. Like you said, दिखाना अच्छा होता है, तो दिखना भी तो अच्छा ही चाहिए. I have seen,
जी.
boys and girls who are fit and who are in great shape, they are taken up first.
Hmm.
So, that is also, of course, a big, big thing. So, if you think you have to be successful in life, and if you think that you have to like do great in your career, then health has to be at the priority.
Right, ma'am. So the thing is that that is the reason why people are like, because weight is a visual aspect of lifestyle. जो अगर दिखता है. So if you're overweight, it's a visual thing. But when you look at, say, diabetes or hypertension or kidney function diseases, etc., etc., the other lifestyle diseases, now these are hidden. They happen all of a sudden. ये हमको पता ही नहीं चलता है कि when it hits, and then when it hits, you don't know what to do about it. So, ma'am, what is your take on that? Is it an over obsession with weight, or there is something that we need to do for everything?
No, no, no. These are all lifestyle diseases and they can be reversed 100%.
Hmm.
तो
Hmm.
कहते हैं ना, देर आए दुरुस्त आए. जब भी समझ में आ जाए, जब भी सोच आ जाए, irrespective of age, not that you can reverse it at 30, you can reverse it at the age of 70 as well. So I have few clients, अभी मेरे पास कल ही थी एक lady,
Hmm.
and she was around 70 years, and her insulin was, I mean, she was taking 110 units, and today she's not taking insulin at all, and
Wow.
dawai bhi almost kam ho gayi, and she's lost around 15 kgs. In fact, I can share her profile with you if she permits me. So
Right.
these are all lifestyle diseases, and inka remedy bhi food hai. They say na, thy food is thy remedy.
Right.
So these diseases has come with wrong eating, and the remedy is also proper eating and bringing it back.
Ma'am, Renuka ji, this thing, it like it when we look at diabetes as a disease also, like when you're talking about insulin, there's so many things that happen to a diabetic person. his main concern is ये diabetes की वजह से, like, it is going to give rise to my to other lifestyle diseases, so or it could affect other organs. So in that sense, when you look at nutrition from a very very studied perspective, and if you start treating nutrition as medicine, then only can I think a nutritionist advice also work. Ma'am, what is your take on that?
पहले इसका आंसर देने से पहले मैं ये बोलूंगी, सबसे पहले द फर्स्ट मार्कर इज योर वेट.
Okay.
So if you are, so if you are obese, so first, if you are obese, that means there is some problem in your system. That means your metabolism is bad. That means you are eating wrong. That means at some point of time you are going to, fall sick, or be prey to any kind of these lifestyle diseases. So, obesity is the first marker. Then the loss of hair, then brittle nails, and probably bad skin quality. And, you look aged much more than you are. So,
Right.
these are initial markers of poor health. So,
Hmm.
this is the time when you have to be, like you said, suddenly aa jati hai. Suddenly kuch bhi nahi aata hai. And
Okay.
you know for yourself, you know it, that I've been ignoring health, I haven't been exercising, and I've been doing these quick fixes of food, I have been eating junk food. So what happens, if you are abusing your body, it will retaliate at a certain point. How can you take it for granted? How can you just go on eating processed food, and how can you just go on eating, just having a entire packet of chips, say, and as your meal, and for days together and months together, and think that you are not going to go sick? So being obese in itself says that you are in poor health. So this is when
Okay.
you have to get back, and then it is a matter, and you have already reached a point of concern. So
Right.
you can't say that suddenly you find out that you're a diabetic. No.
Hmm.
Your body has been telling you for quite a while, but you are
Right.
not listening to it. So
Right.
saying this, that it comes suddenly, I will not agree on it.
Right. Ma'am, this particular answer of yours, it comes with a lot of experience, and I think when I am listening to this, it gives me some kind of confidence that whoever is listening to this particular podcast, guys, whatever Ms. Renuka ji said, just look at it from slight, observe it from yourself, look at where your markers are going. Don't blame oh, like, it is genetic, or it is these are the reasons, or you blame more of external factors, rather than saying that, no boss, for the last 2 3 years I've been messing around with my diet so bad. Right, ma'am?
And I tell you, when I see someone walk in my cabin, in my chamber at the hospital, and aate baithte, the first thing they'll say is, ma'am, when I ask them their, medical history, so this is how I
Hmm.
start. So pehla question hoga ki, ma'am, I'm diabetic, but mere genetic hai. My parents are
Huh.
diabetic, my grandparents are diabetic. I said, this is no excuse. It's a
Hmm.
lifestyle disease. I mean, फिर बोल देंगे मैं मोटी इसलिए हो गई, मैम मेरा थायराइड ही खराब रहता है, मेरा थायराइड बड़ा ही रहता है. How can you just say this and just get away with it? No. How can you
Hmm.
say मेरा थायराइड बड़ा है तो मेरे को इसलिए मैं मोटी हो गई? नहीं, आप मोटे हुए हो इसलिए आपका थायराइड तंग कर रहा है आपको. इट्स द अदर वे राउंड.
Okay, ma'am.
आपने बॉडी को अब्यूज किया इसलिए आप डायबिटिक हो गए, ना
Hmm.
कि आपकी जीन्स में डायबिटीज है.
Ji.
तो ये कहना, this is like cheating yourself, your own self, by saying कि मेरे तो जेनेटिक है, मेरे तो at some point मेरे को शुगर, ये जो डायबिटीज मेरे को होनी है क्योंकि मेरे पेरेंट्स को है. अरे आपके पेरेंट्स को डायबिटीज थी तो दैट मीन्स आप ज्यादा प्रोन हो, तो पहले से ही ध्यान रखो ना.
Huh.
कीप अ चेक. तो वो
Right.
आपने अब्यूज कर दिया, इग्नोर कर दिया, अवॉइड कर दिया, फॉर वट एवर रीजन.
This is
So
right.
it's the other way around. You can't just go about saying कि मेरे को थायराइड है इसलिए मैं मोटी हो रही. नहीं, आपने अब्यूज किया है इसलिए अब आपका थायराइड तंग कर रहा है आपको, पीसीओडी तंग कर रहा है आपको, हाइपरटेंशन आपको फिर विद एज तंग करता है, मेनोपॉज के आसपास आके विमेन बहुत परेशान हो जाती है, and then your hormonal disbalance. So no, PCOD now with young girls. So
Right.
all these are lifestyle issues.
Right, Renuka ji. And this is coming, like, from from somebody who's got over 2 decades of experience. So this is आपने सारा कुछ देख लिया है. Like, PCOS for a young nutritionist today is something like, a phenomenon that they're addressing today. ये उनको दिख रहा है, so they're addressing it in a very, very aggressive and a very, very vocal way. But when you are observing it from hindsight, आपने तो पूरा देख लिया है कि हो क्या रहा है. तो ये PCOS भी आप देख रहे हो कि हाँ, ये चीज भी हम, this is nothing new. Lifestyle का ही तो है बात.
And
है
Abhimanyu,
ना
I'd
मैम?
like to share a very recent experience with you. There's this
Right.
50-year-old man walking into my chamber, and he had his SGPT and SGOT levels, they were like
Right.
pretty raised. So
Ma'am,
I said,
ma'am, SGPT and
liver,
SGOT stand for what? Liver.
liver,
Okay.
liver function test.
Yes.
So
Okay.
I said, you go for a USG ultrasound. So usme bhi fatty liver grade 2 aaya. So, and when I sat down, I was speaking to him about his lifestyle, about his eating habits. So I saw there was nothing very bad in it. So, and I was wondering to myself, has his liver bad? He wasn't drinking and, very religious
Hmm.
and in good shape also. तो
Hmm.
ऐसा नहीं था कि वो overweight थे या कुछ था. Then I'm telling you a very, very, small thing which I picked. Then I realized that he was consuming a lot of full fat milk. So he said, yes, this was when I went into the details, and, it could be a very, minuscule thing, but this is where I caught it. I said, you are drinking a full fat milk 3 times a day.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So उससे क्या हुआ कि ये liver, ये वाले fatty liver हो गया slowly and gradually. So what I did, I eradicated that thing. I said, now you are not having milk for some time. This is just a small example. I'm thinking now people should not take this seriously and stop drinking milk. It's see, diet is very personal. It should be very personalized. Generalized diet, never go in for generalized tips and generalized diets. Diet has to be very, very personal. So I just, saw to it, and for about a couple of months, I told him to stop this milk, and I told him to
Hmm.
have a fat-free milk if at all he's addicted to it. And 3 महीने बाद अभी परसों तरसों I met him again, and बिल्कुल ठीक हो गए थे वो.
Wow.
So see, it was such a small thing which I picked, and मैं देख रही हूँ कि सब कुछ ठीक है. Morning he's doing yoga, and then he's going for his walk, and he's like 60 kgs weight, and
Yes, ma'am.
सब कुछ ठीक था. Everything was good about eating in time, sleeping in time, stress levels on there. There are many markers, stress. If you are
Right.
very stressed, then this diabetes goes up. This is another a parallel thing apart from diet. Your stress levels, your sleep, your all of that comes later. So वो ठीक हो गए फिर. And I was so
जी.
glad कि फैट इतना जा रहा था बॉडी में, और
जी.
वो फैट तंग कर रहा था, तो वो हटाया तो ठीक हो गए. So
Okay.
this is where a dietitian role comes in.
Renuka ji, this is where I was going to go in my next question also, was regarding the personalized and the generalized diet plans, and you basically answered it. And this is where, like, as at the earlier well-being show also, we are sort of advocating the fact that until and unless now, it's not that you don't get nutritionists, you do get them, but you should be going to the right people and try and take a personalized look at it. थोड़ा
Absolutely.
प्रिवेंटिव हो जाओ आप अपने अप्रोच में, है ना मैम?
तो अभी मैं
व्हाट इज योर
बताती हूँ
टेक ऑन
क्या
द?
हुआ कुछ. हाँ.
जी मैम.
So कुछ टाइम पहले I was at a press conference somewhere, and one of the media guys stood up and said, "Ma'am, ये तो dietitian ना fashion के लिए होती हैं, and जैसे एक ब्यूटिशियन और एक सबकी एक पर्सनल होती है फिल्म स्टार्स की, तब उनका पर्सनल डाइटिशियन भी होने लगी है. तो इसलिए आपको लगता है दिस इज अ फैशन स्टेटमेंट ऑफ हैविंग अ पर्सनल डाइटिशियन." So I said, okay, I have a question to ask. He said, yeah, हाँ मैम पूछिए. तो मैंने बोला कि अच्छा ये बताइए कि आपके लिए बादाम खाना अच्छा है कि नहीं है. तो वो बोलते हैं बादाम तो मैम अच्छे ही होते हैं. तो एक उनके बगल में एक और बैठे थे मीडिया पर्सन. ही सेड, नहीं नहीं मैम, मैंने सुना है बादाम से तो बहुत ही कोलेस्ट्रॉल हाई हो जाता है, मुझे तो डॉक्टर साहब ने बिल्कुल मना करा है ड्राई फ्रूट्स नहीं खाने. तो ही वाज कंफ्यूज्ड कि मैंने तो सुना था बादाम अच्छे होते हैं. नाउ ही सेज कि बादाम कोलेस्ट्रॉल हाई कर रहे हैं. सो आई सेड, नाउ दिस इज वेयर अ डाइटिशियन रोल कम्स इन, बिकॉज़ एवरीथिंग इज सो कॉन्ट्राडिक्टिंग कि एक वही चीज कहती है ठीक है, वही अगली न्यूज आर्टिकल कहता है खराब है. सो दिस इज हाउ अ डाइटिशियन रोल कम्स इन, एंड दिस इज हाउ आई ऑलवेज से diet has to be very personal. Maybe his cholesterol is raised, and maybe the doctor says you needn't have these all of this stuff. But maybe the other person is a very normal person. He needs omega 3 and he needs
Hmm.
good cholesterol, so he can have it. So
Right.
it's a very varied subject, very
Right.
personalized.
Right, ma'am. And now coming towards, ma'am, what was your inspiration to write three cookbooks? Not one, not two, but three of them. So can you speak about your cookbooks? What has gone into making of this, and the names also? Like, if you can just share about your
Yeah,
books.
yeah. So I have these books lying with me. So what happened? This was about eight years ago or something. Whenever I would be counseling my clients, and they would say, I would tell them, इसमें कम तेल डाल के भरता, बैंगन का भरता कम तेल. So they would always say, मैम रेसिपी बता दीजिए कैसे बनाएं इसको. So half the time I was telling recipes to them. देखो आप ऐसा करो, इसमें ऐसे कर दो, और वो caramelize हो जाएंगे ना अनियन नॉन स्टिक पे, तो पानी डाल देना. So half the time I realized, I said, मैं तो आधा टाइम यार उनको खाना ही बनाना सिखाती रहती हूँ. So this is how this thing came up. Suddenly one day, one fine day in my clinic, I said, I must have a food club where I can teach them good cooking. So I called a couple of friends and I said, do you want, from there itself, I said, you'll have to help me, and I have this idea in mind. And they were very excited because we did not have any food club here in Agra. So suddenly,
Okay.
within a week, we had 250 members. We floated it on
Wow.
social media. Yeah, it was huge. And I just floated it casually on social media that we are about to start a food club. If you are interested in joining, contact us. So we had 250 members right away.
Wow.
So this is how the club started. And then we went on to make a world record of the biggest thali in the world, and we are recorded in India Book of World Record, where we did
Okay.
256 dishes. We hold that record. And then we did uh, one session. I would teach them once a month. I would teach them low calorie cooking, and the next I would teach them how to bake your own breads, and the third session I would tell them how to do the best salads. And we
Mm.
had Chef Sanjeev Kapoor, Gautam Maharishi, Ranveer Barar, Aditya Bal, you name them, and all of them visited the Gourmet Club of Agra.
Wow,
Yes,
man.
yes. And let me tell you, I'm in touch with them, and hello, hi, hamari hoti rehti hai with all the chefs. And my girls were so excited to have Sanjeev Kapoor, Chef Sanjeev Kapoor, and Ranveer, and a chit chat session with them. All the celebrated chefs of Agra we've had in our Gourmet Club. And then we
Right.
had Poonam Dhillo, and then I once had Zeenat Aman. I called her and I
Okay.
interviewed. I had a coffee with Zeenat, kind of a thing, for
Right.
250, yeah, 250 women. And in fact, I asked her, my only questions were focused to food. And I kept asking her throughout about how you maintained your weight in those days in 1970s, when there were no
Right.
dietitians, and they were. So she told us very interesting thing, that she would have a regular dal chawal, and she would have it. There was nothing like salads and fancy food and
Mm.
superfoods and all of that. So this is how I counseled them, by calling these celebrity stars. And then we had Poonam Dhillon, and then she kind of launched one of our books. So
Right.
it was a very, very interesting journey. Now then we had 2 years of COVID, where we did perpetually did nothing. So
Mm.
what my girls did, we started, because all the restaurants were closed. My girls, they were empowered, they knew a lot of
Mm.
cooking, and then they started selling food on the group. They didn't need
Okay.
any outsider. And they were selling like crazy. Like,
Okay.
suppose today I don't feel like cooking, and I say that, okay, make suppose a shahi paneer for 6 people, and my girls would immediately accept order. Then things
Right.
started changing, and then they started putting their menus. They started
Mm.
offering the menus in the group. So today I'm
Right.
doing this, who all want? And then there would be 10 hands up. Okay, do this for me. So one
Okay.
fine day, after COVID, I realized almost 50% women of the club were catering, making
Wow.
money from their kitchens.
And
Yeah,
this is coming from an understanding of nutrition, diet, of wholesome
yes,
food.
yes.
Amazing, amazing. I think you are a blessing for Agra.
Oh, so I must show you these three books. So we
Right.
did one on salads. This is called La Ferde Salads.
Right.
This is from the Gourmet Club of Agra.
Okay.
And I would, yeah. And the first page, I would always, this book has the best of salads. And uh, first, my girls, so my girls got the
Okay.
recipes, and we did
Right.
photo shoots, and it was great fun.
Wow.
And then another was, I did a snack bar.
Right.
So this is also from the Gourmet Club of Agra.
Right.
And yeah, so the forward would always be from me on the first page. So
Right.
this is a this is a, and then this was the main book we did. So this
Right.
carries almost 200 plus recipes, and all are
Right.
from the kitchens of Agra and the Gourmet
Wow.
Club. Yeah, and this shows our culinary journey. And
Hmm.
then again, the preface is from me here, Renuka.
Right, ma'am.
And yeah, so this is how we did. Then with the club, we did these three books. And then what happened? Agra had no books of Agra, particularly
Hmm.
from the people of Agra. So all the five stars came in support, and our books, you will find our books in the tea lounges of all the five stars and seven stars of Agra. In fact,
Wow.
one of the Vilas Oberoi properties in Agra were
Hmm.
giving books as giveaways to their guests. So
Ma'am,
one of our
is it available on Amazon, ma'am?
No, no. Now we are not selling because it's a very, very tough thing to do,
Okay.
Abhimanyu, because we move forward very fast. So
Right, right.
yeah. So then we don't want to limit ourselves to only this, just printing and selling. We don't want to do all of this. We done, and then we're moving to the second step. We
Right.
don't, yeah. So then,
And yes, ma'am, please continue.
one of her book is with Mark Zuckerberg,
Hmm.
and yeah, it was given as a giveaway from Oberoi and Jimmy Shoo. And at that top point of time, jitne bhi VIP unke guests aa rahe the, who's who were given our book because it
Right,
reads from the kitchen of Agra. So the Oberoi
right.
property was giving it as a giveaway to them. So it was really nice. It felt really nice. And honestly, we don't do it as a money making thing. My girls are making money on their own. This is just a feather on the cap, I would say. That's it. To bring that,
Absolutely, ma'am.
yeah,
And if you look at from Agra, the entire concept about because of the Taj being there, Taj Mahal being there, an entire horde of tourists come just
yeah.
to
A lot of
view that.
VIP movement happens there. A lot of
Lot of
VIP movement.
Correct, ma'am. And
Yeah.
because of that, when such things are emerging from Agra, and these are not not run of the mill. There is there is a salad book, there is a book on snacks, and there is a book on main cuisines. This is it covers the entire gamut. I wish, please encourage your girls to at least if you have 500 prints karwa do, just put it on Amazon so that people like us can at least talk about it, buy it, share it with more people, ma'am, because this kind of effort you do not see from a city perspective. Individuals have written books. A city writing a book.
Abhimanyu, you mail your address. I will definitely share at least one book with you. I'll share the
Wow.
main. I'll send the courier the main book to you. I'll
I will
definitely do
definitely do that, ma'am.
that.
Because I've never seen a city writing a book, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
So that's amazing. Ma'am, I would like to again talk a bit about from a day-to-day perspective. अब सुबह सुबह ब्रेकफास्ट में लोग दही जलेबी खाते हैं, कचौड़ियाँ खाते हैं, ये सारा हो रहा है। इस माहौल में जब गॉर्मे क्लब आया, Gourmet Club has changed sort of a perspective on how to look at diet and nutrition from a salads, snacks, and from a culinary point of view. Then your role as a nutritionist and dietitian working at Rainbow. When you look at all this, do you think that a lot of people are looking at health and nutrition in a better way? At least the people who are associated with you guys, with you
Yes,
personally.
Abhimanyu, most definitely. Most definitely. When they see me working like this, trust me, I'm not kidding. Every now and then get calls from parents, and not from my city, from all around, because I have a client base all over India and even overseas. I
Yeah.
have a lot of client base in US and UK, and so I get calls from parents. You have, but where girls are looking for a career, and then
mm,
they bring their girls to me, and I counsel
mm.
them and I tell them how to go about it. So people are taking this profession very, very seriously, and I think it is the need of the hour too.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, and do you know, Renuka ji, what surprises me in this entire conversation, that this is not your main profession also. You are an industrialist who is, like, in the trade of exporting really high quality shoes across the world. So this is like yeoman service you're doing to your city, to your state, and to the country at large, ma'am. Give us a bit of a brief on how do you manage your day? How does it happen?
See, Abhimanyu, I always tell everyone there are few things in life which you don't like to do, but you are forced to do. Sometimes it is your bread and butter. Sometimes, it is your parental thing. Sometimes it's a lot of pressure from somewhere that you got to do it. And sometimes you have, to prove to yourself and to people around that you can manage. There is one set of such things. Then there's another set which is not very giving, which is not very paying, but you get, kind of good hormone release, doing it, and you feel
The
happy. That is the
dopamine,
absolutely the dopamine and the happy factor. So
right?
how do you balance? Here you are not liking, sometimes you're not liking, doing this, but you love doing this. So you have to balance it out. You are doing both. So this thing is being compensated by this thing.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
when I have a tiring day and I have a long day at work, and, a lot of
Mm.
pressures and tension at my workplace, then then I take my online calls and I said, okay, now I need a break. Let me counsel few people. So every day this COVID has been a blessing in that way. It gave us a lot of
Mm.
online scope, and, people are very comfortable taking a diet online, so they
Right.
don't have to come. So when I have a stressful day, so in the evening 7 o'clock, I tell my assistant, I said, now मेरे को ना आज 7 बजे जो भी जितने भी हैं clients मेरे को book कर दे 7 बजे. So I feel so happy talking to them, counseling them. So
I
sometimes,
think this conversation has also become a counseling for me. I'm like, I have my own set of businesses. I do my own, I'm into manufacturing a particular product called Earthier Yakon syrup, and side by side I've started this activity of talking to people in the health professional, in nutrition, and this is something that I love. Okay, the if you can see my
yeah,
energy, my vibe, I just love doing this, and I think this is an important lesson that I am taking from you, ma'am, is that people look at managing stress, ये करना है, वो करना है, ऐसे करना है, but you just need to follow your hobbies or your passions where you're feeling satisfied from within. And I think that is a
absolutely.
great inspiration, ma'am. That's a great
And it
inspiration.
and it keeps you going, because then you look forward to the day, you look forward to the days ahead. You
Mm,
know that, this now, this week, coming week is going to be stressful at business. So now,
mm,
you have a interview like the one
mm.
with you. So it is such a
Right.
stress buster. So it is such a stress buster for me. So,
Right, ma'am.
these kind of things happening every now and then going for an
Mm,
award function and collecting an award, and you being appreciated for little
absolute.
things you are doing, you going for a lecture or giving a talk. So, all that I carry positivity when I come back, and I work with better frame of mind when I come back to that stressful atmosphere. I am,
Right.
able to work better.
Absolutely. And the age does not show in you as well. It's like, the kind of, because most of the people who are in active business, ma'am, they lead such stressful lives that it just, like, it takes the life out of them. And when you have something like this which is balanced,
No.
wow, wow, wow. It was a pleasure speaking to you, Renuka ji. I hope you enjoyed our conversation on the Earthier Wellbeing Show. I would like you to conclude today, because I think you are the best person. So how do you, about Earthier Wellbeing as well as well-being in Agra? Just conclude it for us, ma'am.
Thank you. First of all, thank you so much for having me. Trust me, it was such a fun evening, and, fun 1 hour. And I'm so glad to see young people like you entering the health industry. And I'm sure you guys will bring about a large change, a big change, because, young minds, the way the young minds think, and we cannot. So So my best wishes to you, to Adhir, your well-being product, and rise and shine. And it was fun talking to you. It didn't feel like an interview. It just felt like a chat. And
Right.
I yes, absolutely. And thank you so much once again. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Renuka ji. Thank you so much.